Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me once again on another episode of The Fast Lane, podcast for success. I'm your host, Derek Lane. I'm glad you could join me, and got a lot to go over. We're going to condense it into an appropriate time frame. So thanks once again for joining me, and let's just go ahead and kick it off and get started, shall we? Okay. All right. Have you ever sat down and thought about what makes you tick? What makes you work? What makes you you? What makes you want to get up in the morning? What makes you want to be the best you can be? Compete against others? Compete against yourself? What drives you? Well, that's a purpose. That's the power of purpose. And the power of purpose can be a very instrumental tool in your success and your path to your own personal greatness. So one thing that I would encourage you to do, and I think this is what we talked about a little bit on the last episode, is strip away the things that you don't want, but make sure that you've got a list of the things that you're looking forward to, the things that drive you, the things that just absolute excite you. It's like your favorite song. When you hear it on the radio, you just got to turn it up. It's like your favorite sports team when they're blowing out the opposite team. And you just get that adrenaline that, yeah, this is good, this is great. The things that make it good and great in your life, those are the things that we strive for. Those are the things that we concentrate on. Okay? These are the things that propel you forward, that gives you the opportunity for the next great thing, the great next opportunity. It's how your mind works. Your mind was designed for success, but we have all of these negative things that get in the way. Daily things, ugly people. And when I mean that, I mean their mindset, their negative mindset. There are just negative people, and we need to avoid that. We need to recognize it right away and avoid that. So make sure that you understand how your power of purpose is going to work for you. It's going to be your it's going to be your guideline, if it will. Your sense of purpose, your power of purpose. Okay? And to do that, to understand that and live that, number one, we have to have self-confidence, daily discipline, to know that we can be the best that we're going to be. You don't need to measure yourself against other people. The only thing you need to do when you have someone you compare to, they should be an inspiration to you, not totally, like somebody I just got to be better than. Because if someone's done something great, emulate that. If you can talk to them about it, please do. If you can read about them, please do. But we take our cues from everybody else. If you were the only person on this planet, if you're the only person on this earth, what would you strive for? I mean, obviously, food and shelter. But as far as the luxury things, the things that we have, that we're grateful for, and the things we want to push forward. See, my friends, I believe that deep down inside, the purpose for everyone here is to make this place a better place. So we'll talk about our successes and our personal journeys. That can be a little bit selfish. But ultimately, when we achieve these things, we are helping society because we're leading by example by showing other people you can do these things. You can be, have, and do anything you want. You can be, have, and do anything you want if you put enough, number two, dedication toward your goal, toward your purpose. So when you know what your purpose is and you're out there every day working toward it, achieving it, discovering it, it's not only for you, it's for everyone around you. And I think if you keep that in mind, it comes a lot quicker to you. See, when we're doing things for selfish reasons, it's slow to come by. Okay, I'd like to have 500 million in the bank. That'd be great. And if I had $500 million in the bank, what would I do with it? Well, I can guarantee you that I would be helping others, more so than I do now. It would afford me the ability to help others. So when you get your mind on the big picture and you see yourself able to help others, that only increases the odds of obtaining the things that you want to obtain, as long as they're for the right reasons. Developing your skills is paramount. You got to think about what you want and where you're headed. There's a certain skill set involved into doing this. There's a certain skill set that you need to hone and craft. Whether it's communication, if your communication is lacking, make sure that you're taking some online courses, some literacy courses, have a dictionary, have that calendar in front of you that has the word of the day, and expand your vocabulary. It's important because words have meaning, and once you know a word, sometimes there's no other word. I know there's always a thesaurus for that, but sometimes that word just isn't duplicated. So that's what I mean by words have meaning. Learn words, because once you learn words, expand your vocabulary, you expand your thinking. When you expand your thinking, you expand your paths to success and your paths to your life's personal journey. Your personality, take a good stock of your personality and understand who you are. Understand what type of personality you are. That, who you think you are, who you want to be, and who you truly are. And just be honest. One of the best things you can do for yourself in your lifetime, because friends, this is a short lifetime, whether you think so or not. And regret is one of, I didn't do the things I wanted to do, and now I don't have the time to do it because I'm edging closer to the end of my journey. I know that's a little bit dark, but it's just God's honest truth that we only have so much time. So that's why it's so important for you to understand your personality, your skill set, the things that you desire, and why you desire them. Okay? So in your power of purpose, to get things done, to get things moving along, it does take a lot of preparation. So preparation has its own merits. Preparation is, in other words, you develop these skills not by accident, but by design, because you prepared. The advent of the internet is just the most wonderful tool ever. I'm going to tell you, that's my opinion. Now, there still is no substitute for reading a book, I believe, but the information that we can garner just from the internet and the luxury of our own home, heck, even on our phones, it's there. And if you're not taking advantage of it, then shame on you. But that's how we prepare. We learn. We read things, we learn things, we prepare, we practice things in life. Life, it just doesn't, we just don't want to waste, our fortune by not being prepared. So being prepared, that transcends into your personal development. And once you get a personal development down, then you start to become an expert. And once you become an expert, then you see that you can now teach, train, and lead by example. And now you're in demand. Another key aspect of the power of purpose is learning how to be self-reliant. There's a lot of times that people sit around and just feel like, I'm not getting any help anywhere. Hey, did you have any help coming through that womb, the birth canal? No, it was you. Unless you're a twin, I guess, but you did this. You did it on your own. You can do everything. Yeah, it's great to have help. It helps out. It's great to have help, but just realize sometimes there's going to be things that you're just not going to get help on, and you need to be self-reliant enough to know that I've got to move forward. Trial and error. It may take longer, but that's okay. It's all right if it does take a little longer. But just know that never complain and never explain. Okay. Your imagery of who you are, your perception of who you are, is probably different than how other people see you. And some people can misread you. And that's just a part of life. But I would encourage you to work on your image. Be be the person that your mental image of you wants to be. Maybe not who you are, but was Shakespeare. What's the quote I'm looking for? Act as though. Well, I'm missing the point here. But act as though, which means just do it until you get it right. Sorry, I missed that quote. Carrying high value and being honest, again, in your character goes a long way. I know there's a lot of success stories about people that, in a lot of Hollywood movies, and about how people trick their way into this and trick their way into that. That's not the norm. That is not the norm. That is the exception to the rule. And even those I highly suspect are hyperbolated, so exaggerated, embellished. Being honest is a true way to develop the highest character. And a person that takes the responsibility, and then also having the courage to take the accolades and to take the praise. Accept it. When you do something great, accept it. Good. Thank you. Learn how to say thank you and accept it. But also learn how to be humble. Also know when to be humble. And then when you screw up, no reason to beat yourself up. Atone for your mistake, learn from your mistake, and move forward. It's very simple. That's the problem I think that we have a lot of times, is that we harbor so many feelings of guilt, resentment, and doubt, and just negative feelings that we harbor internally that hold us back, and we don't want to relive that again. Why try this? Why try this again? Because the first time I tried it, it was horrible. I was miserable. I had anxiety over it. I lost weight. My hair fell out. Maybe extreme, but you get my point. Look, if you don't keep moving forward, there's never been a success without a failure. I can promise you that. There's never been a success without a failure. Failures lay the tracks for success. Okay? Failures lay the tracks for success. So you're going to continue to have small pitfalls. Think of it as that if you're having a small pitfall here and there, you're doing the right thing. You're on your way to success. Okay? Telling the truth, being honest, developing your character is something that you should demand of yourself. Speaking of demanding, you should always demand greatness from yourself. You should always demand the best from yourself. If you know that your mind's being lazy and idle, and your hands are idle, your time is idle, there's only so much time in this world. And I'm not saying you have to be nonstop 24/7, right? We all need to rest. There's a time for work, there's a time for play, right? Yeah, but when it's time to get the things done, get the things done. I don't know if it's a term that you guys have been familiar with, but I call it schluffing off. I guess that's kind of a Yiddish term, schluffing off. It's, just wasting time, goofing off, whatever it is. Don't schluff, okay? Be willing to put in the work. Demand of yourself the ability to put in the work, to do the things that you need to do to accomplish the things to propel you where you want to be in life. Be the expert. Make sure you prepare. Be self-reliant. Carry your character. Make sure that your mindset is in the right place all the time. Stay away from the negative people. Have a goal. Create opportunities in your life. Create opportunities every day. Look for the opportunities. They're there. They're around you. Whether it's happenstance or you feel like it's an accident, it doesn't matter. The people that you talk to, if you're not engaging with people and encouraging other people. I got into a conversation the other day with someone that I really didn't know a whole lot about. Felt like the person was a good person, and we just slowly got into this conversation, and it became a wonderful conversation. One of spirituality, one of